Hey, my name is Sean. Welcome to Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. Thank God it's Friday.
It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. It's gonna be epic.
You know, it has been a week, but it has been a good week, at least at work, been very busy at work, been very, very blessed with that. By the time you see this, it'll be Friday at lunchtime. We're on the downhill slide for the weekend. Looking forward to the weekend. Got this big box right here in front of me. Man, this will be something I'm doing Monday with a few other content creators. Looking forward to this. This was started from Baker Drinks, Troy and Laura, Westward. This is something on their end of the world. We're going to be sampling some different single malts. I am looking forward to it. I'm very interested in seeing a few people's reactions that maybe don't do a lot of single malts, but I'm interested in seeing what they got. So looking forward to having this bad boy on Monday, digging into this and seeing if we're going to be involved with the barrel pick. So looking forward to that. Man, I tell you what, before I get too deep into things, I just wanted to say, I got to set this up right now. Thank you for everyone that's been reaching out to me. But, I'm in yesterday's video, I said, there's an unspoken request for someone just to pray for them. And since this person kind of put it out there on their, about their channel a little bit that, Carlos from Whiskey Wisdom, lost a family member the other day. And, I would just ask that you continue to keep him and his family in prayer. He's going to have to do a lot of traveling arrangements and things like that. Just keep him in prayer, him and his family in prayer. They definitely need it. Carlos is an awesome guy, always upbeat, but, even when we're upbeat all the time, sometimes you go through some tough times and just keep him lifted up. That's what all I ask, just keep him lifted up. Today got something new. It's funny is that, I've got very good relationships with the different stores in this area. I have nicknames from some of them, stuff like that. But the one that I call the Affair Maple Party Shop, Matt always does some awesome things for me. He got 3 bottles of this Remus Babe Ruth Reserve in, the other day, and he's like, and it was time for a points thing to come up. And I said, I really want that Jack Daniel's 12. I said, but eventually I'll have to earn up enough points to come back because I'm interested in reviewing it on the channel. He said, if you're doing it on the channel, I'll get it to you now. So I was able to get that, and I'm excited about that. Not because I like Tater bottles, but I do like history and I like baseball, and I like to find out what it's about. It's an expensive bottle. I will be giving 2-ounce pours of this away on the Patreons for September. I've already picked out 3 of the 6 bottles. Going to be giving away Jack Daniel's 12. Going to be giving away the 13th Colony Cast Strength Bourbon I reviewed yesterday. Also be giving out 2-ounce pours of this Babe Ruth Reserve. It's really neat because it shows, how many at-bats that Babe Ruth had. And you can actually go on there and put what bottle number you got to see how you did in the at-bat. Struck out. So I'm hoping that the bourbon is better than the at bat that day, but we'll find out. This is really neat. Is it's got a mix of 3 different aged bourbons in there, but all the bourbons are very high rye. So this one, like the one that's got 70% of it, 59 or 49% of it is a rye. So barely legal bourbon. So this is going to have over a 45% rye content between the 3 different years and the high ryes they got in there. So this will be like a burr rye. So I'm interested in that aspect. Ross and Squibb, so interested in that too. Plus I love, I'm a tater for that kind of stuff right there. It's a Babe Ruth. There's only a limited amount of them. What's the fun of having them if you can't crack them, right? So let's see what I think about this. It would have to be something that just knocks my socks off for the price. I'll just say that up front. I don't expect this to be worthy of the price. I think that the tater factor in there is what drove up the price, but I'll tell you how much I think the tater factor value was in this compared to what the juice is actually worth. So I guess I'll have to have like a new mathematical concept called the tater factor. So I just made that up, so I don't know how it's going to go. We'll see. But let's get into this. So right off the bat, this has got kind of I would say not even a dark yellow, but more of a medium yellow kind of look to it. Let it roll on the Glen here. That way I get a nice check to see what this thing does for my nose. Kind of check out the viscosity on there. The legs are streaming down, so you do see the oils in there. Like yesterday with the 13th colony, you could just see them just hanging there forever before they finally started working their way down. This one, you got the sheens of oil, and it looks like some thinner legs on there. So I'm not sure how oily this is going to be. It's coming in about 110 proof, so it's at a good proof point. I know I like some flamethrower type of stuff from now and again, but I really like this. This kind of 110 to 120 is usually where I really, really enjoy stuff a lot if it's a good bourbon. If you're really good bourbon, of course I can go higher, but I even like lower proof stuff if it's good. But let me give it the nose, see what we got. Man, this is like a butterscotch type of a rye thing going on for me. So I get that butterscotch, that kind of sweetness that comes with it, and a little bit of that buttery note that comes along with it too. And then I get some of the rye spice, and it's not very heavy. It's just this real nice, fragrant rye spice that comes along with it. I'm getting a little bit of licorice on the nose. And I know I'm licorice sensitive, but I like licorice. Licorice and cinnamon, I'm pretty sensitive to them as far as I can usually pick them out pretty good, but I like both of them. So and now the legs on this are really starting to come down on there, if you can see that. So it maybe has a little more oil than I thought on it. A little bit of corn coming through there, so I'm getting that butterscotch, corn, getting a little bit of an herbal quality, getting a little bit of a licorice going on. I'm getting more of a sweet leather on it too. So you get a little tiny bit of the oak, but more of a sweet leather that I'm getting on this. Let's give it a taste, see what we got. Wow. I took a little bigger sip than I thought because it was 110 proof. But this really has more flavors than I thought it was going to have. It just kind of exploded there. Got that butterscotch up front. Got some pepper on the back. Got some of that rye spice going on. Getting a nice Kentucky hug on it. I wasn't expecting the intensity that I got on there. I thought it was just going to be a super nice, smooth sipper. But this has a little more pop than I thought it was going to have. So even though it's got that butterscotch, it's kind of the ryes that are kind of shining through on this for me. I'm getting a little bit of that spearmint, a little bit of that licorice, but that rye spice is coming through. Getting some drying on the back from the oak on there. But man, I am really, really enjoying this. I don't know if when you were a kid that you were over at like your grandparents' house, like my grandfather's house, he always had certain candies in the bowl, like the Neapolitan caramels and stuff like that, and I'd eat them layer by layer. But sometimes he would have like the not the peppermints, but the spearmint discs, and he'd have some butterscotch discs. And sometimes I'd eat, the butterscotch disc or whatever, and then I'd follow it up with a spearmint disc. Kind of what I'm getting here. I'm getting this great butterscotch kind of over note, but then on the back, I'm getting some of this spearmint stuff going on right there, which is really neat. It's got about a medium plus finish on here. Not quite a medium long, but a medium plus finish. And I'm trying to weigh what I think its value is as a bourbon to kind of give it a Tater scale on here. I don't know if anyone uses something called a Tater scale or not, but I guess I'm going to start using this with what I call a Tater scale. this just gets smoother as I sip it, especially if you're bringing it to the back of your palate. You get that richness, you get that sugar, but then you get that spice. And it's not like earthy, grainy at all, but you get some of the things that I like out of a rye, where you get some of the sweetness and you get a little bit of that peppermint and you get some of the spice and the pepper that comes with it. I'm getting some of that. So all in all, I really enjoy the pour. I was surprised at how much I'm enjoying this, because I guess I had it in my mind that this is expensive. It's probably not going to be that great, but it's actually surprising me how much I do like it. And it's doing the things that I want in a good bourbon. It's not the same sip every time. I'm getting a little bit something different with it. And so this is a heck of a way to start getting ready for the weekend. You know, Thursday night, having a nice pour. We're going to rock out on Friday. We're going to have a good time. But this is the way that you say, okay, I'm getting ready for the weekend. You know, a nice pour here. Now, what would I consider a Tater factor on it? I guess the power of Tater, I guess, would double something in price. So if I said, you know, I value this at maybe a $75 bourbon. If I said it's got a Tater power of we'll just say 2. So we'll double it. The original price, what I think it would be at, then whatever Tater factor will be the multiplier. So if I say this is a Tater of 2, I would say that, you know, you're paying X amount of dollars, but here's the juice you're going to get. So I'll work out the mathematics. Not a mathematical genius, but I'll figure it out. Let me have another sip of this. Man, this one's changing me up a little bit. Okay, so I think I figured it out. So I think the MSRP on this is like $250 for this thing. So is it $250 juice? No. But what is what I would pay for this bottle, and I could say I'm comfortable with it? I would say $100. I would say the juice is worth about $100. So it's got a Tater factor of about 2.5. So if you take what the value of the juice is and then the Tater factor to bring it up to 250, I would say the juice is worth about $100. And it's a good pour, and I would pay for it again at $100. Would I pay $250 again for it? Absolutely not. I love the concept. I love how you get to see what your at bat did, but this thing did not strike out. Now, maybe for the Tater factor price, yes, but as far as juice, very good juice. Really enjoyed it. I thought I was really surprised, and I think I had a mindset that, you know, there's some other bottles I spent a lot of money on, Samurai. I'm not going to mention any names, Samurai, but that I've just been so disappointed back. I don't even want to go back to them. But this one, I'd say I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to enjoy it. Even though I overpaid for this with a Tater factor of 2.5, I think the juice is good. And it has a good story and has a neat place on the bar. And I can't wait to get it in some of you guys' hands so you can tell me what you think about it. So, also, in the comments, should I make this the Sunday giveaway pour? I love to do the Sunday giveaway pours. Should I make this the giveaway pour for Sunday? So not only will the Patreons have that opportunity, but so one of you guys will have that opportunity too. If not, if I don't get enough traction on it saying, yeah, I think that'll be the giveaway pour for Sunday, I'll figure something else out. Man, I'm telling you what, I'm glad this week is about rounded out. I don't know if you can hear it outside, but I hear all the cicadas singing. It's getting dark outside. Summer is still here. Dolphins and Falcons on tomorrow. Football is finally here. I'm looking forward to that. Friday, if you're working today when you see this, I hope your workday goes by fast. I hope you're successful in everything that you do and you bring great energy to your teams. If you happen to be off, or when you do get that off time, I hope time slows down. I hope it just turns down the dial a little bit so you can build those moments, you know, because we don't live to work, we work to live. So when you get that time to live, make the best of it. Have some good time with your friends, your family. Take care of yourself first off, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of the people that you love around you. Man, but most importantly all, cheers and God bless. Y'all have an amazing day. Thank you.